Hello, everybody. I think we're live. I Somebody needs to give me a star. I have been live twice now in 3 days. Was live on Saturday, and here I am live again on Monday, and I have a lot of work to do. So thought about canceling, but I thought no, this is important too. So here we are. Um, Let me know when you're on. Say hi. Let me know if you're new. I needed to not do this on the silicone mat because I can't pick up my plates. Um, Say hey. Let me know when you're here. It'll take a few minutes to notify people that I'm live, and this is so odd. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Thanks for joining. This is so odd for me to be live on a Monday night that I don't know how it's going to go. But we are in Technique Week, so I am pretty excited. And we are using one of my favorite things tonight. I adore, and I'm learning that most of you are this way too. Here's what I figured out in the craft industry: if I get excited about something, then I know y'all are going to be excited too. And that's pretty much the way it goes. And I have learned. So, um, I know you probably love cover plate dies as much as um, I do. I'm good, Jennifer. Thank you. Thanks for asking. So, this is Technique Week, and we are celebrating the My Pretty Things. Um, Disclaimer, just so you know, if you're new, that's my company. It's an itty bitty company. I just started about a year ago, not even a whole year yet. And hi, Donna Reynolds. I got your order in the mail today. Thank you. Thank you. So, your goodies are on the way. Ricardo took them to the post office for me. And thank you for your order. It really does mean so much. And we are celebrating release week for My Pretty Things. Not even a year old. Isn't that crazy? Our first ever blog hop. So if you have not joined the blog hop, go to www.everydayexp.com. And that's my blog. And that's the first stop on the hop. And I think we're giving away two $25 gift certificates if you hop along and leave kind comments to the, I know, yay for you, Donna. Yay for you and yay for me. So that's a bonus. Um, so make sure you go hop along for your chance to win. Leave kind comments along the way. Yes, Donna, and actually I need to check maybe tonight. I'll remember and check with the manufacturer that the dies, I ordered them well over 30 days ago. So um, it takes a long time, believe it or not. We have to work far in advance. I am hustling right now to get everything for the May release for the NCR in, because that's how long it takes to get it in time. So that I think I got everything in February for those dies, and yes, there are dies coming. They just aren't in yet. But oh my gosh, aren't those stamps so cute? I love them. So we are celebrating release week with the first ever blog hop. And tomorrow, if you're on Instagram, we are having the first ever My Pretty Things Instagram hop with, once again, I don't know whether there's one or two giveaways for $25 gift cards. So you'll want to go hop along, start on My Pretty Things or everyday underscore expressions. And the hop list will be there, and hop along for your chance to win on Instagram, our first ever Instagram hop. Yay! So I'm so excited. So this is Technique Week, and we are celebrating all the things in the release. And one of my favorite things is a good old cover plate die. And how pretty is this Nouveau Daisy? Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. So I was busy doing some practicing before we came on, and look what I made. I mean, come on. I love a twofer. I love a good twofer. So here is the cover plate cut out of glitter paper. Ooh la la. And I'm all about the lavender. Now the Facebook does not count Donna, the Facebook is just everybody showing their work. So make sure you go on everybody's blogs. It's a blog hop, not a Facebook hop. So go on everybody's blogs for your chance to win. Everybody posts their things and then gives you their blog link so you can go to their blog. But it's a blog hop, so you have to go to the blogs. Make sure you do that. So I love a good twofer. We used glitter paper, and it's like a glitter cardstock. And then look, and I'm going to show you how I did this pretty easily. I mean, super easily. I mean, how pretty is that? Okay, good. Just making sure. I just want you to be able to get your name in for the gift certificates. And so easy on this. And I've been inspired because, I love Art Deco, and Nouveau is kind of like, it kind of goes along with Art Deco. And we went to the symphony yesterday in Nashville, first time ever. And oh my goodness, I want to go every day. I didn't know if I was going to love it because, we went with Gabe because my son Gabe is the musician. He is all about all the music right now. And so he wanted to go because it combined his two favorite things, space and music. And so it was entitled The Planets, and there were actually three different scores going on. The third one was The Planets, and it was fantastic. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And we're inspired all around us by things. In the lobby, it was an Art Deco, Art Nouveau kind of, a lot of like movie theaters and symphonies and old hotels were built in that Art Deco, Art Nouveau kind of era. And they had iris in some of the detail in the railings and stuff. The lights were beautiful. It was just so beautiful. And so the iris just, it's been on my mind. And so I'm in a lavender mood today, and I have my lilac colored My Pretty Things shirt on. So here we've got the glitter paper. And if you joined us on Saturday, I couldn't help it. I ink blended because we were creating backgrounds and stencils. And so we used our die cut Nouveau Daisy stencil, or made a stencil. We die cut it and made a stencil. And so we ink blended. So we kind of jumped ahead on that one and did this one. And oh my goodness, I just love it. So we used it as a stencil. Love it. We're going to use it as a stencil again because I'm not done tonight. And then look at this one. I cut it out of white cardstock, and then look, shocking, I know. How many of you actually cut apart a good die cut and use it for just interest, maybe on the back of your card, especially if you do like mixed media things? Look how pretty it is, just like that. We could just cut out this daisy and this little square and use that on a card. Wouldn't that be so pretty? I mean, seriously, so cute. So I did that while I was just messing around, and we're going to now use this white one as a stencil. I am going to pull out a piece of my Bristol Strathmore Smooth paper, if I can find it. Let's see. Maybe it's here in my pile from Saturday. Here it is, I think. Yep, there it is. I like to use Bristol Strathmore Smooth because it's kind of a mixed media cardstock. It can, I say this over and over and over again, it can take a lot of abuse. I am going to put my Spring Floral Lattice Daisy in soapy water I have right there ready to go. Because I was thinking we had regular stencils, but this is a paper stencil. So I've got my Strathmore Bristol Smooth. I've got my scrapbook.com mat, and let's use our die cut as a stencil. And I'm not going to tape it because, it's a normal A2 size. So I'm just going to hold it down, and I pulled out, cross your fingers, this is not dried out yet. Texture Paste Opaque Matte. Now, this is my second favorite. My first favorite is the Distress Crackle Paste. But I don't know if I have any right now. And so we're going to use this. So let's hope that it is not, you know what I'm thinking? I might use the translucent glossy. I might, let me see. I'm trying to think as I go because of course, per usual, I don't have a plan. There's transparent mattes, which would probably be okay, but let's do the transparent gloss. Just because I'm going to show you what's next and you're going to get so excited. Let's use transparent gloss and see how this goes. I'm hoping this is not dried out. Cross your fingers. Nope, it is not good. I am excited. What's it? Hi, Laura Stahl. Thanks for joining us. I'm looking for a palette knife. Oh, I know where I saw it right here. So let's get this transparent gloss on here. And I am not going, I'm kind of in a mixed media mood right now. So I'm not going to make it perfect, okay? Maybe I'll make it perfect on the top and not on the bottom so you can see the difference because we're just kind of playing around. So, ooh, it is, ooh, okay. See I don't use it enough. And look, it is kind of like dried out. It's just that it's plasticky dried out. So, ooh, this is no bueno. And I'm not sure with this if we can reconstitute it with some water. So I'm going to throw that in the trash. I mean, I could try, but let's see. This had no plastic wrap on it, no rubber band on it. So it's kind of yucky. No, I think it's dead. So we're going to throw this away and we're going to go back to across our fingers that now my texture paste, I have the rubber band on. So let's see if that helped preserve it and see how it's going to work. Okay. Ooh, and oh, that's so nice. This one is still nice and creamy. That definitely helped. Yay. Putting that rubber band on there. Look, I mean, it's lovely. This is the normal consistency. It's kind of like a thick frosting. Okay. That's good consistency. And I don't remember like if it for sure hasn't dried out at all. Like I don't remember when it's new, but my palette knife is going through it pretty easily. And so I'm pretty happy with that consistency. So let's get going. I'm happy with that. And you know I love the Distress Crackle Paste too. And I'm not going to put too much right. Since I'm going to tape it. Why not? You know what? Let me get, I think I have some, yes, artist masking tape in here. Yes. So at least I will mask part of it. Since we're not going to use it in the normal conventional way, I'm not worried about actually covering up part of the top. So if you can see, let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, I have a little bit showing. I'm not worried about it being perfect because this would be kind of a funky mixed media anyway. So we're going to tape it down a little bit, okay? While we are working on this, I have a question. This is on my mind. My nose is itchy tonight. I have a question for you. Just some quick market research. Thinking about next year. Hold on. I told you how long production takes. So I'm thinking ahead a little bit to my 2027 schedule. And, I don't do a release every month. It's just, I don't know how people do it, especially if they're a one-man show. There's just no way I could do that. So this year I did a spring release, and then we'll do one for the craft retreat in May. It won't just be for the craft retreat. I mean, it's a full blown release. It'll just be released right before the craft retreat. But and then we'll have a Christmas one, holiday, because the virtual retreat went really well last year. And, holiday crafting is my favorite. And then there'll be some things here and there. But thinking about 2027, I want to know what your favorite crafty time of the year that, like, you're inspired by, new releases and things like that. Like, do you like, and I'm thinking first half of the year. Do you like springtime stuff more? Do you like Valentine's Day stuff more? Oh, I wasn't finished. I did the full top, and now let's just do a little bit like if you were doing mixed media, we just kind of go here and there. We don't go everywhere. You don't want it to be perfect, right? So tell me, when do you get excited about new products, unless they're just all the time? Especially like the first half of the year, Mother's Day, Easter, the springtime things, Valentine's Day, winter time, because I think of January as like winter thank you kinds of things. Okay, so now this is going to be a one and done kind of stencil, right? Because we are putting it, sorry, I'm putting my thing in water. This is going to be a one and done stencil. So let me know in the comments. What do you think? Okay, I'm pulling this up. And that's the only problem with a paper stencil. It's a one and done, but that's okay because we've got more paper, right? So now I'm going to throw this away. And here's what we're going to do. See if I have any copy paper. Hold on. You can't see this, but ooh la la, it's so cute. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments. Did I lose everybody? Everybody eating dinner? I'm hungry. Look, how pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think we might need a regular stencil because I'm loving it. Maybe towards summer. Jennifer says she's a late spring summer girl. So you like all the beachy things, and is that what you're thinking, Jennifer? Those are your favorite things, the summertime stance, beach themes, things like that. Okay, I am using, this is the Distress Shaded Lilac Glaze. This is the Tim Holtz Distress Ranger Glaze. Let's see, let's use a little bit of lavender, and let's go ahead and pull out some pinks. I can put this lavender back in, but I won't be able to next time because it will contaminate. Some of the lilac will probably spill out. Flowers, trees, things like that. Let's, what else? Do I have a white pink? This one is picked raspberries. I was hoping I would have flamingo, but as you know, love that. Have Uncharted Mariner. I love that color, but it's not. I would think if I have that one that I would have the Kitsch Flamingo. Ooh, what did I find now? Hold on. There's so much good stuff in the drawers. Oh, I have grit paint. Using that one too. I have another one. I'm gonna go with do a light blue. I think this one, I think this will overpower the lilac. So maybe we'll do, no. Ooh, we might do 2 tones of purple since we're on that. I think that's the purple poison one. That's the one that we're going. Let's get this open. See what this looks like. Oh, Donna says, well then Donna, you're welcome. This whole release was everything for you then, right? That's so fun. But I do have another one coming in May. I almost forgot. I'm excited. It's going to be a good one, a good daisy. A good daisy for sure. Something that Andre and I both love in paper crafting. So I'm excited. Okay, let's put some of this. What is this? Villainous Potion? Maybe that's the correct name. I don't like it when it's so perfectly linear. Let's get some in other places too. So there we go. We've got Shaded Lilac and Villain. Look what I did. I wasn't even thinking. I got too excited. I put it right on my mat. So here's what you do. Do your paste and then do your glaze or embossing powder, whatever you're using, because you can do both. While it's wet, make sure that you use it and your embossing powder or glaze. And now we're going to set it aside to dry. Okay, you have to let it dry. And let's hope by the time we're done, maybe it'll be dry. We'll see how it goes. And let's get, while I'm thinking about it, this rubber band back on here. So we have now used our background cover plate as a stencil. We used it as a stencil on Saturday evening, and that's where I did that rainbow coloring. Let me make sure I get this on correctly, this rubber band, because obviously it worked, because this one was not dried out. So we have to make sure we get it perfectly right. Okay, that was my Ranger. I love Ranger pastes. Texture for like a good basic crafty kind of paste. This one's texture paste opaque matte. And silly me, dumping right on here is going to be a mess. Let me get the lid on here. And it on here and get this in my trash can. Hold on 1 second. I get so excited and get ahead of myself sometimes. And I'm talking at the same time and then I don't realize what. So we're going to set that aside because I am going to rinse that one off when we're done. Okay, so we did this one and we used it as a stencil. The other night I die cut it and I used it as a stencil and we ink blended through it, and that's where we got this twofer. So pretty, so very pretty. So definitely cut your background cover plates and use as stencils. One of my favorite kind of different things to do. Something else I love to do, let's do this. I need another piece of cardstock. 1 second. I'm going to cut this one A2, 4 1/4 by 5. And then we're going to put it on a card base. Ricardo, are you close by? Let me get a drink real quick. Okay. Let's die cut this out of white cardstock. Okay. Going to line it up so that I don't waste any paper. I just cut it to the regular A2 panel size. Thanks, Laura. Okay, let's get this one cut out. This is just plain white paper. I do have a beautiful new pearl. It's got a pearl sheen to it. We've got, and right now it's in 12 by 12. Pearl white, pearl pink, mint, and blue. And there's a silver too, I think. And it is gorgeous. And so I love to cut background cover plates out of the pearl, the pearlized, pearlescent cardstock. the glitter cardstock. You saw the purple one that I did. I love a good white glitter, but you have to be careful. I bought one the other day. I didn't like it because it wasn't pure white. So something that you can do, of course, if you can't find the perfect white already made glitter cardstock, of course, I would use a sparkly embossing powder. So I used my Crystal Kisses to create my own glitter kind of cardstock. And I was hoping Ricardo was listening and maybe he would go downstairs and on the what am I thinking? The advertising boards that I did for my last crop, if he would bring those upstairs. Ricardo, would you please do me a favor? Would you please go downstairs and bring up those display boards? I need a card off of one of those. Okay, so look. One of my favorite things to do with a cover plate. So simple, but it makes all the difference in the world. And think about it. Why do we buy embossing folders? Because we like the interest it adds to a background. So think about, okay, so we don't have an embossing folder for this die cut. But when you take the die cut and all you do, one layer, tape it or glue it to the back of your white panel. And you know what I should have done? Should have made a sticker out of it with whatever you've got. But I have Inkadink. I've always used Inkadinkado masking paper. Wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. I have, look at my messy drawer. Let's hope it's in here. I have sheets of score tape. And I don't know if I have any left. Look at my drawer. Don't look at my drawer. It's a disaster. I had sheets. Oh, wait a minute. I think I found them. I need the white glittery card that has the ephemera on it. Okay, I found it. If you have wide score tape, and very gently it will come off because it's got Velcro on the back. If you have these sheets of score tape, it's got glittery paper and it's white like this. And it has the wide washy ephemera. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here you go. Look, I created my own white glittery cardstock and I made a shaker card. So of course, we all know you can make a shaker card, right? With a beautiful cover plate. And I do love this one. I do. Actually, this is the exact card that I made for Andrea, my friend Andrea. Everybody knows Andrea for her birthday. So use your cover plate and make a shaker. That's a given, right? Love it. And I use the wide washi tape on this, and then bougie kind of half round beads. And then I use chandelier because that's a good all around shaker mix, background shaker mix. So there you go. So I wanted to make sure that I showed you that. So let's do this all over again. If you have these score sheets, make your own sticker and it'll make it super easy. I know some people use sticky specs. I actually had those in the drawer and I passed right on over them because I don't know who can do sticky specs, but not me, because I make a complete mess and it gets all over my fingers. It drives me insane. So if you know how to use it, I need a good lesson. So I've got these score sheets are sticky on both sides, right? And if you have, what's that, a Xyron machine, and you can make your own. I don't know if there's a big enough one to make a full sheet, but I could have trimmed it down before I pulled the back off, but it's been so long since I've used it. Forgot. Oh, I just thought of something else. Anybody else have the foiling flakes, like the tonic? The ones that I have that I always used to use were the tonic foiling, the gold, silver. What else? You could also use the hot laminating foil to do rub on to make it look gilded, especially talking about like Nouveau and Art Deco. Wouldn't that be pretty? Oh my gosh. To make it look like real gold leaf. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Okay, so I have put my score tape on the back of a piece of cardstock. I'm making my own sticker basically. It's going to make it very easy to stick down onto my card. Nothing seems to be going in the right direction today. Okay, so that's on the back, and it should cut through everything. We'll see. We might have to send it through at an angle. Let's see how it goes. Okay. What other kinds of ways is there? I haven't gotten to everything yet, but I love to paper piece back in. I think this die would be absolutely stunning to do paper piecing, especially like make a rainbow flower. Wouldn't that be pretty? Or analogous colors. You could ink blend and then paper piece back in. Going to run this through one more time because it's got a couple of layers on there. We want to make sure it goes through. Okay. So paper piecing, we used it as a stencil. Of course, you can make a shaker. Oh, Donna says she has a large Xyron and she has 3 different sizes and oh my gosh, it's funny. Don't say it around the hubs. He'll know all your things. No, Donna, you won them in giveaways. Remember, you told me you won them in giveaways, right? All 3 of them. All 3 of them. Okay, so let's see how well this die cut out. Let's see if I put enough pressure on it that it's going to. I think so. Yay. So pull it out of your plate. And now we're going to have to work on cutting out all the pieces. And we could have, taken these off and just use those, but I don't have the patience for that one. It's going to take a minute to get these all out. Let's do it this way. Sure did. Wink, wink. We wouldn't fib about things like that, would we? Thank goodness we have good hubbies. We don't have to fib to, right? Okay. This is going to take a second. We want to make sure we get all these pieces out. Okay, so Jennifer told me she likes trees and flowers, things like that, like late spring things. What about Donna, what's your favorite time? Obviously you were inspired by Little Bugs and Daisy cover plates, right? What else? When do you find yourself, in the first half of the year, what kinds of things do you get excited about? Maybe Easter? Is it Easter like faith-based things? Or the cutesy things for Easter, like the bunnies and the, oh my gosh, baby ducks, all the baby critters. What else? Okay, let's do this. See if this goes faster. It might. Yep. It cut through everything. It's just, that score tape backing does its job, and it has to keep everything together. So you can also hold it down and push with your thing and kind of pull up on the cardstock to get it to come off. Flowers are inspirational. I know. I love flowers too. And sometimes I just wonder if everybody's kind of tired of flowers, but sometimes I think it's a matter of We just need to see new flowers in a or old flowers in a different way, right? Look, that works. So you have to be patient if you're going to do this. Now I've really gotten my head doing the gilded flakes. I'm going to have to try that too. And you know, you can use, like I started to say this, the foil that works for laminating and rub it on. Okay. Got this one, and I think I got them all. So now I need a card. So just peel off the backing. Some of it has come up already, which is fine. I especially like flowers that have a little bit of grungy look to them. Do you mean when you're creating with them, or do you mean they're a little edgy in like the actual stamp? Like I love a good sketchy drawn flower. If that's what you mean, Jennifer, I like that too. Sometimes I like the real pretty elegant ones, and then sometimes now I sit my cardstock up on my desk, and then I sit this one, and you tend not to mess it up as much. Take your fingers and kind of to line it up, and you'll tend to not have too much of a mess. So there we go. Now I use my bone folder just to make sure it's all adhered. I love a good white on white background. No inking needed. If it gets a little bit dirty, like mine did right there, we can just erase it. The die cut stamp and sketchy is way cool. Yes, I love sketchy. Okay, so look, how beautiful is that? The whole idea is, like I said, you're creating texture and a little bit of interest in the background that's not going to detract from your focal point. It's the same idea with an embossing folder. So yes, we love this, and it would be beautiful in an embossing folder, but we've basically recreated that. And how pretty as just a background. Now you could create anything like this, basically this is the basic idea right here. It created a pretty background, and then we added all the washi ephemera around it, right? But here is the background for our card, and yes, it's white, but we just put the die cut right over it. You could ink it, you could do whatever, but I love just a good white, simple, clean, and simple background for a card, right? Use it like that. You're just giving it that interest that an embossing folder would do, right? Without the cost of buying another product. So we've got that one. We can heat emboss it like that and create your own glitter cardstock. You can create a shaker card. You can use it as a stencil, right? Use paste through it. You can use it as a stencil and ink blend through it, right? Now, here's how I did this one. And this one was so much easier than the score tape. Are you ready? This is so easy. Wait until you see this. I'm going to show you. It was something I wanted to try. I wasn't sure. And let's see how it goes. Now I want to use, and I might need to look, I love shadow stamps on a blended background. Wonder why, wink, wink. Shadow stamps. What are you thinking? What do you mean by that one on a blended background? Shadow stamps. Tell me what you mean, Donna. I'm not exactly following, or there's different things that ways that could go. Let me look. Let's try this. I'm looking at all the pretty colors I've got right here. I'm going to do this one. Let me show you how easy it was. Didn't need the score tape. Get your splat box. Okay. I recommend doing this outside. I just can't do it right now. Get your, who has Pixie spray in their craft room that they haven't used forever? Me. So get your Pixie spray out. Do this outside in a well-ventilated area, not in your craft room. I just have to do it right now because this is where we are. And I am going to, hold on, I want to get all this off of my cover plate from the other one. I got Donna started on what? Donna, what are we talking about? The shadow. Are you talking about shading? I don't know where you're going with this one. Tell me. So get your Pixie spray out. That's what I was wondering. Are you talking about silhouette stamps like Lavinia? Love Lavinia stamps as well, the silhouette and the ink blended background. Oh, Laura, you missed the first craft retreat. Oh my word, where? Okay, let me think. Okay, this is what I did. Are you ready? Take your paper. Yes, I know. Me too. Silhouette stamping. Take your paper, take your Pixie spray. Okay, do this outside, but I'm doing it inside. And I'm going to just lightly spray the back of my cardstock to create a sticky back to it. Okay, pull that Pixie spray out. It has not gotten any love for a while in your craft room. I know it. Now, let me think what I did. I have to think of what I did. I know, I did this wrong. See, I did this before I went live. New piece of cardstock. Throw this, well, don't throw it away, but keep it. Here's what we do. I forgot how I did this. You're going to run it through your die machine first. Run it through your die machine first, okay? With your background cover plate. Okay? Then you're going to go outside with your Pixie spray. Be very careful. Okay? I am going to. This is if it stays in your die. Look, perfectly. Got it. Okay? I did not take it out yet. Look how beautifully that die cut. One pass through. Okay? Every little bit. I love it. So leave it in there. Don't let anything pop out. Now get your splat box and go outside. Get your Pixie spray. And you're going to put it like that. So you can see where it's die cut. Your cardstock is face up. Okay? Give it a little spray with your Pixie spray. It doesn't need a whole lot. Okay? Pull it out. Will I maybe need to wash my die after this? Maybe, but it's fine. Just don't let it soak in water and make sure you pat it dry. Okay. Now I am going to, let's see. I want to see if I can use, no, I'm not going to use that. Give me a piece of paper. Very gently, I'm going to put this on my cardstock. I'm going to give it a little bit of rub, a little bit of love, very gently, okay? Just a little bit, little pressure, because I don't want to stick too much. And now, see if you can get it to come up. And sometimes it helps if you use like um, a palette knife and kind of slide under there or kind of poke it down, but you don't want to put too much pressure because you want to be able to, what we're going for is paper piecing that we can pick back up. Okay. So we can give it just a little bit of rub this way. And that's what's nice about the Pixie spray is that, and if you see them start to come up, hold it down. The Pixie spray is kind of a low tap thing. It'll give it just enough. That's all I used on that glitter card stock. Oh, missed one there. There's one there. Poke those down. To be a little bit patient on some of these things. Okay, what have we got left? Here in the middle. Okay, let's see. We ready? Look. Got most of them. Wait a minute. I missed one. And then you can fix them. Look how pretty that was. Now, we can use these. We could either make it stick down the way it is and kind of make sure everything's spaced out. And look how pretty. And then you kind of have a raised image. Once again, another 3D kind of embossed looking effect. Oh, we missed all these daisies right here. Let's go back. Look, and I can feel kind of where it's supposed to be and get them to stick down. Or now it's somewhat connected and but not too much, and you can pick them up to paper piece on something else. So if we die cut this in this white one, let's say we wanted to actually paper piece back in, or if we did a pink one is what I was thinking, you could see how easy that is. This is if you are patient enough to do it and you know exactly where they go. I could put this on another piece of cardstock and paper piece a rainbow or any color that I wanted to into another one. You could put just a few petals here and there. Like let's say, pretend you were plucking them and there's one left. Remember, you know, does he love me? Does he love me not? He loves me, right? You could do that. So that's an easy way to paper piece. Now, I might add some glue. So I would glue this down onto my cardstock if I had another piece of cardstock. If I were using white, I would tape this down, glue this down, and then I would put a drop of glue in each of these spaces before I paper piece back in, okay? Laura, I normally don't, but I have to tell you, when I really want something beautiful that, you know, it's worth it and I just need something that's kind of mind numbing, I will do some paper piecing. You won't see me do it very often, but I love the look of it so much. So look how pretty that is. And you could just do kind of one here and there if you wanted kind of more of a, you know, an artsy kind of look. But look how pretty. Can you see the texture on there? It definitely gives it another kind of 3D effect. So we could do paper piecing, and the Pixie spray definitely helps hold it all together if you're worried about it, and you can flip it over and now you can see exactly where it goes. And then you also now have this frame that you can use on another card. So you're getting these twofers everywhere, right? So pretty. So we can pull this one out. And don't just count on the sticky specks. It's a low tack. Add some other adhesive to whatever you're doing. Look how pretty. The dark pink on the light pink. How pretty is that? Ooh, or on navy. I love navy and pink together. I love it. Look how pretty. I actually think I even like, oh, that'd be so pretty. So, so many different things you can do with your background cover plates, right? Is there anything that I haven't thought of? And let's see if I wonder if this is dry enough. We're going to try it. Let's get the heat gun out. It might not be dry yet. It's getting there. It's almost there. Let's see how it looks. You ready? Um, I love embossing glaze. It's so transparent and glossy. It looks like enamel, I think. Now this may not be totally dry, this paste yet. But we're going to go for it. And I did use did I use transparent or matte? Opaque, I can't remember. I love to use the transparent. It's bubbling because it's not dry yet, but we're doing it anyway. Make sure it's dry, at home. We don't have time tonight. It wants to bubble for sure. Which, it's pretty. Oh, I love the glazing effect of the distress glaze. Can you see it bubbling? See if you can see it. My lights aren't shiny enough tonight. I need to go get my hot lights. I want that glaze to really melt and look like enamel. It's so pretty. I actually like the bubbling. I wish it stayed bubbled, but it's falling as soon as the heat comes off of it. Look how pretty. Now this is a pretty glaze. It's not a mixed media kind of, funky background look, like with all the ink smushing and all that, the splatters and everything. Look how pretty. Can you see the shine? Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Look how beautiful that is. I love to use embossing powder or glaze over a paste and let it dry and then heat it and melt it. And look at that beautiful texture you get. I love it too, Laura. It is so pretty. And once again, if you use, some of it did stay bubbly. I love it. Can you see it? Can you see that texture? Oh, it looks like glazed tile. And so, it is neat. It's one of my favorite kinds of things to do. So, especially with the glaze, because it's transparent and you can see the stuff behind it when you really do a cool mixed media background. Isn't that pretty? I love it so much. It looks like glazed tile for sure. Yes. So Jennifer, you use your texture paste, put it through your stencil, or in our case, the background cover plate stencil. And while it's still wet and sticky, you put embossing powder or distress glaze powder, whatever you've got, kind of tap it off and then sit it aside and let it dry. You should let it completely dry. Now, this is pretty cool because it got bubbly and some of the bubbling stayed. I wish you could see how much definition there is on there, and I don't know if you can see it. And then let it dry completely, and then go back and heat it and melt it, and look how pretty it is. So many things you can do. I made another card. We did this in a class that I taught somewhere at a store, and we were actually making men's interactive cards, and it was so cool. It looked so pretty. Love it. But this one is a little bit more elegant because it looks like real glazed tile. So there we go. Look at all the ways that we used. And of course, didn't have time to complete any cards because I wanted to share all the different ways that I could think of for at least in this short amount of time. Oh, let's talk about this one. So I love talking about mixed media to cut die cuts apart and just use pieces on a background. Makes it look really cool and interesting. Let's see if we grab this one from the other night. Look, if you just use a little bit of it or pieces, look how pretty that is. Gives you a different kind of effect, right? Once again, it's just more texture, but I love to cut them apart and just use little pieces in your background, especially mixed media and things like that. Okay. So don't be afraid to cut into it. It's paper. It's meant to be cut, right? We could, like I said, just cut out the daisy, and how pretty would that be? You could cut out the squares and just use that. How pretty this would be. Just trim this one. Just use it for a little bit of interest on something, right? Use it in a journal, use it on a tag. Look how pretty she is. Look. And you can use that as a teeny tiny little stencil, right? So cute. Put a little gem in there and it's its own little embellishment. You could use that as an embellishment on a card, right? You could cut this one flower out. Let's do this. Look. Depends on what you're doing. I'm going to cut out the little indentation in a moment. Once again, like Laura said, if you have the patience to do something like this, it could be really cute. Just add one little flower. It could be its own kind of ephemera, right? And then you would want to make sure that you cut into all these little areas. Look how cute this is to use just one flower. You would want to cut into all of them. But look how cute. And you could leave these square. It almost looks like a 4-leaf clover, doesn't it? So cute. What do you think? I love it. So tell me, let me know. If you watch the video, leave a comment. Tell me if there's a way that I didn't use the cover plate that you have a good idea, and ways you like to use your cover plate. Don't forget, if you're joining or you're watching and you don't normally watch, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you follow and click the notification button so you can be notified. I will be live again on Wednesday. And Wednesday, what are we doing on Wednesday? I forget. Because we're in Technique Week, right? Tomorrow's the Instagram hop also. So hop along on the blog hop along on the Instagram hop. Join us for Wednesday night, whatever that is. I think we're doing pretty pattern paper. I think pattern paper. So join me on Wednesday and then also on Friday this week, 7:00. I will not be live my usual 7:00 on Thursday. Gaby has a tennis match. We're in tennis season, so the schedule's crazy, but I went Saturday, tonight, Wednesday, and Friday. So you're going to get me 4 times in a week. So thanks, Laura Stahl. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And if you have ordered, thank you so much for that. It really means so much. I appreciate it. And I love that you're loving the new release, the Blooming Friendships release. Okay. So let me know. Don't forget, leave a comment and tell me if there's another way to use a background cover plate that I didn't cover. Literally cover. Haha. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.